Hello everybody! Welcome to another Sunday Funday where we're going to of course talk about bad times at El Royale because we care about going to see The First Man. Everybody's like, oh, it's so great. I don't care how great a story's going to be or how...
Well, you know how it ends.
Yeah, it's like, I know exactly how that movie's going to end.
There is no tension.
Yeah, like they try to make the trailer like, oh, are they going to make it? If you're staying true to how everything happened, yeah. Unless they're gonna just, what a twist, and it's all on a soundstage. Which, I don't know. I wouldn't be too surprised with Hollywood nowadays being that stupid. But instead, of course, we went to see Bad Times at El Royale, which we've been looking forward to.
Oh, they looked intriguing, and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Megan's got a crush on Chris Hemsworth, something fierce. I'm good.
I say, what do you mean crush? He's one of my future ex-hubbies.
Though ironically, I think he's only a little bit older than you. I think he's like 35 or something like that. He's younger,
I
dude.
say, where's your phone? On my phone or what? I said, do you want me to use your phone?
If you don't want to, I don't care. I go to IMDb, it'd be best bet. She just stabs her phone with her fingers. It's mean.
Well, no, I'm blaming VTO, so.
Yeah, that's true.
You're like, I'll break the damn phone trying to claim that shit.
But hey, to talk about bad times at the El Royale, as we call it.
He's 3 years older than me. Oh my god.
Told you, he's 85. He's 35.
I say, look pretty damn good for his age.
I sure straw. I sure. Megan's gonna have her giggles on.
Oh, I thought I already got this out beforehand.
Hey, thought you were thought wrong.
Oh. Someone was snorting again.
Yeah, he probably get a good kick out of it. So, since last week we had Megan started off, I'm again gonna let Megan start us off because I'm gonna ask, what did you think of Bad Times at El Royale?
Well, we didn't have a bad time.
Yeah, thankfully now.
I mean, it wasn't like the bestest, most awesome thing I've seen in my entire life or even this year. But it was decent. Which, after the run of shit we've had, especially night school, it's such a relief.
Yeah.
Like, yay! Our prayers have been answered.
I have not had a movie that I've enjoyed really since Peppermint. And even then, Peppermint, I was kind of lukewarm on at some points. I'm like, this could have been better in different regards.
Well, it's like with this, some stuff could have been taken out, some other stuff maybe more elaborated on.
Ironically enough, for a 2.5 hour long movie. And that is what I would say, straight up, if I'm going to talk about negatives first. The movie, it's too long. It is a really... It's a sit.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to actually get started. You know, introducing everybody and then having, like, after everybody checks in, then kind of going back and kind of...
Telling a little bit of their backstory here and there.
Explain, you know, their backstory and why they're there and what they're doing.
And some of it is somewhat interesting. Some of it is forgettable. That's the worst part of it.
Dakota Johnson, she's just totally superfluous in this.
Yeah, that is the worst part. It's like, she does fine with what she's given. She's just... It doesn't feel like she's poignant.
Yeah, her only purpose is bringing Chris Hemsworth to the hotel.
Yeah. Then there's also... We'll just talk about them as their characters. You have Jeff Bridges as Father...
Daniel Flynn.
Yeah, Daniel Flynn. Which, of course, if you have watched the trailers, you realize he's not a priest, actually. But they go more into all of that. His backstory is amazingly heartbreaking in so many ways.
Yeah,
We'll try not to spoil it too much. But we'll just say there is a reason why he's there. You have Darlene Sweetwater, is that what?
Sweet.
Yeah, Darlene Sweet. She is the black lady who is the singer. She,
And
unfortunately, she's a great actress. She's great in all she's doing. They want to tell us her backstory and
she's a nice enough character. It just, her backstory adds really nothing to the movie. So it just pads the runtime a little bit.
yeah, you have all these other different characters that they have unique and interesting backstories. Hers is kind of, you've seen it in other movies. It's nothing particularly terrible. It's nothing particularly new. It's nothing particularly interesting. And that's its biggest sin, is that her backstory is just eh. But I will say, when she's on screen, there's so much emotion she's able to get through with just her singing, with what she's actually saying, and just through facial expressions, that it really works when she's on screen. Just, I think her backstory it's the weakest of the bunch.
Yeah, it's like, okay, she's a struggling singer. It's like, what does this really have to do with anything? Especially anything that's going on at the hotel. That's the main focal point, is the hotel and all the guests and everything that's going on there, obviously.
Yeah. There with John Hamm, his is actually incredibly interesting, but it feels like it was part of a different movie.
Yeah, and it just...
There's a plot points that he brings up, and they just seem to be forgotten by the midway point of the movie. And it's like, but that story was kind of interesting. I was really kind of jazzing with it. I was interested to see where we were going, especially.
Yeah, I understand they couldn't continue with it. I understand.
Yeah.
That, but it's like, okay, well, why even kind of tease us with that? Kind of bring it up.
Yeah, because the one thing that was interesting was they were kind of talking about the El Royale itself, the hotel, and the fact that there is these secret passages to be able to look in all the rooms. All the rooms are bugged, and there's different kinds of bugs that aren't just like FBI bugs and stuff like that, which is discussed at one point because, of course, the father knows about it. He's going to know what they look like because he's, a criminal. And also, a few other people know what they look like. But again, it doesn't go anywhere. And that's another thing. There's certain mysteries that feel like they're brought up, but they're never given any kind of satisfying answer. And mostly it just deals with the management, as they keep being referred to. They keep seeing like there's going to be a reveal.
Who is it, the desk clerk?
Yes, desk clerk, Miles Miller.
Yeah, he alludes to management. Mm-hmm. Like, they have him watching these people and have him film people every now and then and send the film to his P.O. box, and he just refers to them as management. But in the trailer, it made it seem like he actually worked for the government. Like, the management was some kind of government organization, like the FBI or CIA or something. Yeah,
and instead, nothing. And that's the thing. It's like there's not really a story thread that's really picked up there. Instead,
it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Just these hallways that they find out, they're spying on us. These
two-way mirrors.
Yeah.
Or one-way mirror. Sorry.
Well, I've heard it was two-way mirrors. I think. I'm like, well, wouldn't it be one-way?
Yeah.
Because they can see into the room, but they can't see out of the rooms into the hallway. Not unless they break it, which they end up doing accidentally at one point.
Yeah. And, but I will say, despite those flaws, which is obscenely long run time and some backstories that feel superfluous at best, this is actually a really good movie in its points. The acting in this movie, there is not a single bad actor, I think. Chris Hemsworth is just this perfect side of insane. And we're just going to go ahead and give it away. He's Charles Manson, in all essence.
Basically.
Yeah,
he's just
hippie guru.
Yeah, this, charismatic, stick it to the man and the man's rules kind of cult leader.
And
he has crew show up at the hotel and
pretty much start terrorizing
rains
everybody.
down shit on everybody.
Yeah. And that part, it gets really interesting. It's really fucking tense, too. Like, it's pretty much the last 30 so minutes of the movie. It's just this tense, like, what is going to happen here?
Yeah, it picks up eventually, but it's a bit of a
It's a slow burn. Yeah, there's so much backstory, so much stuff it feels like it's going through.
Yeah, until finally everyone comes together and everything just finally converges. Like, it just like, I was like, this is so slow.
Yeah.
It's like,
but once it picks up, though, I think it kicks into gear.
It really comes into its own.
Yeah. And you get still another backstory, though thankfully this backstory, it's a couple minutes long. Yes. It's like, oh my god, thank goodness. Whenever they showed their backstory, I'm like, oh my god, no. It got to a point where I was actually beginning to dread them coming up. Though I will say an interesting little thing they did with each, because they preface each of these instead of showing like the characters' names, well, with the exception of the last few, because Chris Hemsworth's character, Billy Lee, he gets one, and so does Miles Miller, which is just his maintenance closet.
Yeah, the intro cards say like room 4, room 5, or something.
But yeah, I don't know.
It kind of like switches perspective until finally all just comes together.
But you realize they were like how their characters were in all essence. Like Father Flynn's were crosses. I was like, oh, okay. And also, with that one guy, it was a certain very important government bureau that you might know. Its stuff was similar to it. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I
hadn't noticed that.
I picked up on that by the second one. I was like, oh, okay, so they're all kind of different. So, and again, they refer to most everything except for, not Charles Manson, Chris Hemsworth.
Billy Lee.
Yeah, Billy Lee. They all get,
With
just
a southern accent.
Yeah, though you can tell he's not comfortable with the southern accent yet. Not that it's bad, just...
It kind of...
Sorry, it's choking. It's just, it fades every now and then and just becomes a straight-up American
I'm about to
accent.
say, it's like just kind of a generic American accent.
Yeah, and also...
Which is fine, I think.
Yeah, at least he wasn't trying to go for a whole donkey Midwestern accent, don't you know? And be the roughs. Right, I had to pick
I like to think that I talk normal, just every once in a while my hick kicks in, so...
Every now and then your hick kicks in?
Shush. But, so it's kind of... It almost works.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
And even then, he's not truly a Southern guy. He's Southern California at that. Which even then, if y'all have ever been to Southern California, they really don't have much in the way of accents. Which is fine. That's how it works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, the backstories are interesting for the most part, with the exception of introducing about Dakota Johnson and what turns out, we'll just give away a little bit, it's her sister.
Yeah, you see her like kind of holding some woman hostage. It's actually her sister. She's trying to get
her free from Billy Lee.
Yeah, who's like under his spell.
Yeah, and of course, Darlene Sweets. Their backstory just, they feel so weak. And it's sad to describe that from the fact that one of these characters was getting physically abused and possibly sexually abused.
Yeah, it's kind of hinted at. Just...
Yeah, which I'm glad I didn't decide to show it. I've been like a little too produced.
Yeah.
But it really feels... It's like, okay, I kind of could have figured some of this stuff. And only that, but it didn't... By the end of it didn't add anything to
I would say their
character.
childhood, learning about that, just really added nothing to it. It's like, it's really more about learning their history with this cult.
Yeah.
That's more the important thing. It's more what leads up to the big finale.
Yeah, and that would have been much more poignant. At least I would have thought so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think I rather enjoyed the movie. It might be one of those I'll eventually get on Blu-ray. What's like on sale?
Now it's like
It's like, oh, it's 750? Sure, mine. Again, it's not bad. It's just, it's a little long in the tooth. That's its big problem.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like, if I saw Quentin Tarantino pop up at the end of this, I wouldn't have been surprised. Though I will say this movie is not as much like Quentin Tarantino's movies, which are very much in love with themselves. I will say, thankfully, Django Unchained really did not feel as much in love with itself as it was. Mostly because it had such fantastic actors in it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if that popped up, I mean, it didn't surprise me at all. Oh, and also, one thing we have to touch on is the music in this movie is actually...
I was just about to bring that up, yeah. I was like, because the era takes place in 60s, Vietnam era.
Late 60s or late 60s, early 70s, because it was about late Vietnam, because that's when... Because Richard Nixon got voted in 68, technically didn't start serving until 69, and whenever they were originally talking about that, I want to say it was like 1970. Sorry, Charlie knows a little bit of
there's
history.
a little speech of him on TV just talking about guerrilla warfare
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And, yeah, it's like that era. It's like there's some really good music. Is some like I'm gonna try and word this. Like kind of like 50s and 60s music.
Yeah.
It may seem like a little outdated for the particular time, but it works.
I think whenever it has the 50s music, it usually tries to allude to a very 50s vibe. It always felt like whenever it had certain musical tunes going on, it was being used in ways that would fit with what was going on in a particular scene. Was it talking about Billy Lee and some of his psychotic stuff? It's going to go into
60s hippy dippy,
or just like crazy, technically early heavy metal or early
acid
metal.
rock.
Yeah, with
Like Deep Purple.
yeah,
Hush.
Deep Purple. Which I will just say that movie or that song being in a movie and getting to hear the freaking just bass that is just awesome. Just give me a little witty. I'm like, ooh. That bass. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry.
Also, when the Cars did that to you.
Oh yeah, it sounds so nice. I was like, oh. But yeah.
Yeah, don't. Do not envy the person who had to clean up that seat.
Yeah, that seat had so much goo all over it. But yeah, music's great, acting's great, script is good, except for it's like they didn't cut anything out.
Yeah, the editing could use some fine tuning, and as we said, some of the backstories were just kind of unnecessary. Just
They really felt like almost like DVD extras shoved into the movie.
yeah,
Not even trying to pick on the movie, just
kind of a director's cut with some of the deleted scenes kept in.
yeah. And I know more people are like, oh, we should include everything. There's a point where, like with this movie, this really does bog down the main story. Eventually, feels like because there's whole elements that are picked up and just left dangling. There's entire side stories that by the end of it really don't impact anything. Hell,
I just know we didn't really get a backstory per se, like flashbacks, like for everybody else, with John Hamm's character.
mostly because I don't think there was supposed to be much of a backstory with him. And again,
Yeah.
it did not help that.
Well, I'm saying that they could have easily gotten away with something like that for the one lady, Darlene.
Yeah, which is sad because like,
Yeah, she's one of the best characters, and
hey, you
like
really,
her and Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges, my heart goes out to his character. It's like, oh.
yeah, Jeff Bridges, he's probably gonna get. I wouldn't be too surprised if he gets possibly an Oscar nod for this. I don't think he's gonna get an Oscar for it. Not that it wasn't a great role. Just I wouldn't be surprised if they go, you know what, this is actually really good. Let's at least consider him.
Yeah, he was really good in this. There's one scene towards the end I was tearing up a little bit. Like,
Yeah, she's just big softy. I can't say much. I cried over a robot last week.
in a video game.
Hell, I've cried over 2 robots in my lifetime.
And we cried over
No,
a
I've cried
tree.
over 3. Sorry.
And we cried over a tree. Twice.
I've cried over 3 different robots, mind you. A tree twice. I've also cried over a Solarian, who are usually really cold creatures. So, thanks, BioWare. You're awesome and terrible because you make me cry in a game twice.
Cried over the beginning of Ori.
Oh.
Oh god, it's like, oh,
And
pancakes.
And people who do not cry during the beginning of Ori and the Blind Forest, just soulless automatons.
Yeah.
Bunch of redheads. Yeah, I don't think there's more I want to talk about with Bad Times That Were Out. We don't want to give away too much. I would say go see this if you have time. It seems weird to put it that way, but if you're
it's a couple hours long.
Yeah, it's a nearly 2.5 hour long movie, and it at points you begin to feel like there were times we were kind of looking there and watching like, what time is it? It's like, all right, can we movie go? And then what? But once you begin to really get that, like, all right, come on, movie, it begins to finally pick up. You're like, all right, cool. Now we're at it.
Yeah, once everything is finally all set up, everything converges, and like all the pieces of the puzzle start to come together, and it's like you can see the actual picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, like now we're moving things along. Now it's like now we're kind of like, this train is picking up speed.
Yeah.
It's like it was good.
Yeah.
Again, not the greatest thing we've ever seen, or even the greatest thing we've seen this year.
It's so much better than what I've seen for the past month and a half, nearly 2 months. People, I have not had a
just
decent
in general
movie.
This year is full of such shit. Ugh.
And to think you didn't have to sit through Peter Rabbit.
Hey, you did that to yourself.
I know, but I'm like, okay, people are saying this is not that bad. No, it's so much worse, actually. It's bad to think that 50 Shades Freed is possibly going to miss my list. As terrible as that movie was, but it was just an a forgettable ass flick.
Yeah, I'd forgotten we'd seen that. I was like, oh yeah,
It's
that thing that came out this year.
I was like, hey, yeah, you forgot that came out in this entire year. So anyway, guess we better finish up our talking about Bad Times at Royale. So what would you give this though as a final score?
I think we've both been kind of on the fence about like either 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about some of the good points, I'd have to say a 7.
I'll agree with you there. I think like I said, the editing where it's like, all right, we could cut out this part and this part. Not in terms of like the camera quickness, because I will say the camera, it's actually really good cinematography. There's some really good shots. Like I said, the acting throughout the entire movie is phenomenally well done. There's not a single bad performance throughout the entire movie.
Not even Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, surprisingly
Well, a little
enough.
bit she's in it.
That
maybe helps.
Yeah. Just the biggest issue is just the movie's too long. It's too damn long. It needed to go through editing just one more time, Drew Goddard. But hey, it's not Venom. It's not the Predator. It's not motherfucking Night School. So I'm happy.
You just like me comparing Venom to Upgrade.
Yeah.
Because I honestly
really thought about that.
Yeah, I kept seeing trailers for like Upgrade and Venom, and I thought like, Upgrade, what that kind of ended up being, I thought that's kind of what Venom was going to be.
Nah, because see, Upgrade was a fantastic movie. Venom was a piece of crap.
It wasn't that bad. It was disappointing. But I would say it's like, I was able to enjoy it probably because I'm not
as big of a fan.
Not a comic book nerd. Like some others I can mention.
What can I say? I wanted a Venom that they actually worked together in some ways. They actually had a real symbiotic relationship instead of like he's his pet suit. Oh, wow.
He was still funny in it.
Yeah. So, that's Bad Times at El Royale.
Thankfully, we didn't have a bad time at it.
No, we're probably going to have one next week, though. We're gonna go see Halloween.
At least please be meh. That's all I beg.
As long as it's not the Rob Zombie Halloweens, we'll be okay, I think.
It can't. It cannot be any worse than Night School.
Do not wish that kind of horror upon
I'm just
us.
saying, like, it can't be. It can't be.
You are jinxing us so much because know anything, Aquaman's going to be the biggest piece of shit we've ever seen because it looks like a turd sandwich right now.
Well, upside, we have a lot of material for our worst of list at the end of the year.
I don't want that.
Downside, we're not.
Oh my!
We might have to stretch a little bit to get the best of.
I think my best stuff's gonna be good. I think I got enough movies to fill out my best stuff easy.
Well, there's been some good movies this year, but also some like meh.
I've had some really fantastic movies, and then some really. I think this year it's a year of extremes. There's been a lot of really good movies, and there's some real shit movies, and not a good middle ground throughout.
I was like, why can't we go back to like keep with the trend of last year, where it's like a lot of good movies and a number of meh movies and a few bad movies sprinkled.
Yeah, like Emoji Movie, which is really bad, but
yeah,
we're just vamping now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week with Halloween. We're gonna have so many people screaming for no damn reason. Ah! He just walked into the bathroom and took a leak,
and please,
lady.
Please don't bring your fucking kids.
Oh, you know they're gonna be like 13.
R-rated movie.
Oh no, they'll release like a special PG cut. No anything. Actually, I don't know if this movie.
Ben Nugget had to neuter Venom to make it PG-13.
Is this movie actually rated R?
I think it is.
I don't know. We'll see. But hey, Blumhouse, you've already fucked me once with Get Out, so just do it again. Why not?
And surprisingly, the guy from Get Out has a career still.
Yeah. Well, that's because a lot of people liked it. I'm one of the few assholes who didn't. That and Piss Face.
Well, from what you told me, yeah, it sounds really fucking dumb. It's like, why was this made? It's just racist all around. From what you told me, and from what I kind of read on Wikipedia. It's like what? This is racist to black people and white people. This is racist all around. It's just
Megan doesn't want the video to end.
sorry, I can't seem to shut up.
It's okay, baby.
I'm weak.
But hey, we'll see y'all next week with Halloween. Yay! So go see Bad Times at Royale. It's actually pretty good. Just be mindful you're going to be sitting for nearly 2.5 hours. Take a leak beforehand. So hey, we'll say bye-bye and bye-bye everybody.
Bye-bye.